once Trippier was announced, I have hit the goddamn roof. And the reason I've hit the goddamn roof is very, very simple. I have had to sit here and on my channel and on social media and everything else and listen to people say, put it this way, you cannot get players out of Champions League winning teams or Champions League playing teams, La Liga winning teams, or teams that are going for a title to move clubs or to come to us. You can't do it. Why would they want to leave? But all of a sudden, a player, and I know we don't want the player, I'm just talking about the nonsense that you can't get a player out and the people that have been saying this. How does Newcastle get a team from Kieran Trippier, an England international, a La Liga winner, a Champions League playing and league going for player out of the club? Now people go, oh yeah, but he's homesick, fair play, he's homesick. Then they go, oh, but Newcastle have got the money, you've got the money, Newcastle can do this. Well, do you know what? It's amazing when you pay it. It's amazing if you pay an employee to come to you and you offer him what he wants, or you can arrange something, he will go. And not just that Kieran Trippier will now have to sign, as all players do, in their contract, if they go down to the Championship, you're having a substantial wage cut. Now, I know he can caveat that with, I'll have a release fee in there, but I'm sick and tired of people saying things can't happen in January, people won't leave bigger clubs to come to Tottenham.
Why would he need to take a wage cut if they get relegated? Because
of the finances. I mean, Newcastle obviously have got the bigger money, but when teams go down, they always have it that obviously we're not earning Premier League money and the income. You have a wage cut.
Newcastle we're talking about.
Yeah, Newcastle may be able to get around. Newcastle may be able to get around that.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so but he'll have a release fee. But forget. I am sick of hearing people saying that you cannot get people out of Champions League competing teams or league winning or league pushing teams to go to a Tottenham.
Look. It's 7 days in to the transfer window. There's no need to go nuclear right now. But in terms of what people say that you can't bring players into a Champions League side, first of all, I think that's false. I don't think that's correct. Second of all, the players that they're talking about are much higher level players than Kieran Trippier, right? Kieran Trippier is at the twilight of his career now. He's 31 years old or 31 years old. He's a right wing back. He's a right back. Tell me what... Would you want him at Spurs?
Yes, right now.
Why would you want him at Spurs? We want to set our sights much higher than Kieran Trippier.
Don't get me wrong, of course we want to set our sights higher, but we have been saying, you've been there as well, and most Spurs fans saying, Emerson cannot cross a football.
Correct.
He cannot cross a football. Mm-hmm. What does Trippier do?
He crosses a football.
Bingo.
Yeah, fine. But it doesn't mean that we want Trippier through the door just because he can cross a football. Yeah, but
like I said, I've
had Trippier and we wanted to sell him.
I'm not speaking to all Spurs fans. I'm not speaking to people saying I wanted Kieran Trippier. I never said it. I know people that did. I am one that wanted Philippe Coutinho. You're damn right I did. And I was very vocal about that. But like I said, I am saying to people, and people know who they are, and I don't know a lot of them, but they're in the chat, they're on social media saying that they don't say you can't get a person. They don't put a caveat like a high-class player. Players don't come in January. You can't get players out of La Liga or Championship winning teams. You can't get players out of Champions League winning teams. You can't do it. You can't do it. Why are they going to come to Tottenham when we're not in Europe? We don't know if we'll be in the Europa League. Don't know if we'll be in the Conference League. But then all of a sudden, it's okay for one to go to a relegation struggling or relegation fighting team. It's always something different. I am very clear with my message. Always. But the amount of caveats that when something happens and leave you in or leave you on the fence, oh yeah, but this, oh yeah, but that, oh no, but this, oh no, this may happen, or enough. I've tried to stay calm with this recently. I really have. And I know what we've said behind the scene, and I know what people are saying it's only 7 days in. People are making moves. We desperately need players. Conte is saying stuff in press conferences, and we are here.
First of all, nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. You're having reports online from Sky Sports saying Spurs are going to do business this January. You've got reports from DiMarzio saying in the summer Spurs are going to go really, really big. Yes, I'm not saying I believe all that. I'm not saying that it's definitely going to happen because we all know we've been stung before with this ownership before, many a time, transfer window after transfer window. Right, that is completely spot on. But We've just brought in Paratici at the beginning of the season. We've just brought in Conte at the beginning of the season. Those are two massive, massive, massive steps in the right direction. It's only 7 days into the transfer window. We all need to calm down a little bit.
So a lot of what you say I agree with. A lot of what you say I agree with, but there's other things you've got to remember. We have people saying Conte doesn't come unless there's assurances. Conte doesn't come unless there's money.
Yeah.
We were told when we even watched the video on his announcements that money is available in January. We didn't say an amount. He said that there will be substantial funds available for transfers. Didn't say January, but he said for January there will be transfers, and we all know summer was going to be the big summer. So I'm with you on that. I believe summer is where we go, or at least attempt to go. But we desperately need players. We got told there was money available in January. Then just before January, oh yeah, but no, it's not as much as we thought. Then it's just another string of lies.
There's nothing
coming out of Pinocchio FC.
It's all hearsay, though. It's all hearsay. It's all rumours from online. Nothing is concrete information that we're hearing. It's all hearsay.
What is concrete is what we were told about Conte having funds.
Okay, but
we were also told. And I've said this on here with you, Paratici's here to be the middleman and speak to be the go-between. Yep, like you said, this could all just be media. The meetings need to happen between Conte and Levy. Well, no, they don't. No, they do not, because that's what Paratici was brought in for.
But all this stuff is not solid information. It's not solid information. I don't believe for a second that Conte hasn't met with the club in terms of what targets he wants to bring in, what targets he wants to take out. I don't believe that for a second. You're seeing reports. Yeah, fine. What I'm about to say is hearsay as well. But you're seeing reports about Spurs being linked to this one, Spurs being linked to that one. You're seeing reports saying Spurs are going to spend money this January. It's 7 days in. We can't get on the backs of what's happening right now because we've brought in Conte, we've brought in Paratici. Let's just have a bit of patience. Yes, I know we've had 20 years of patience. That's not the point now. The point is, for the first time in the tenure, we've brought in the best manager or one of the best managers in the world. We have to stick by his side. I stick
by his side.
Yeah,
I am by his side.
The negativity surrounding everything is only going to hurt us. It's not going to help us.
So, listen, I get that part. I get that part. But like I said, we just go round and round in circles all over again.
Yeah, fine. I get what you're saying. Yes, it could give the illusion that we are going to go round in circles again. I get that. But we cannot start protesting, complaining. We can't start doing this stuff until everything is said and done. Once everything's said and done and what is done is done, then we know what's been done.
Okay, so also what I would say to that, if you know you got Arsenal, Chelsea 3 times, and now Leicester, which is pivotal, these games were always there, barring Leicester. You know you have huge games coming in that are really season-defining. Wouldn't you want to be able to put your best team or whatever forward and have players to help the team get over these?
Of course. But this isn't a quick thing. This isn't a quick thing where we're going to get players in and suddenly start competing with Chelsea, going to go good Stamford Bridge and win. I'm
not saying we would. I'm saying to qualify for Champions League or to get.
Look, it's very, very difficult. How are we going to start? We're not going to qualify for the Champions League this year. We're just not going to. We're not good enough.
I've been saying that. But people are saying that this is what's going to happen. What happens? Like I said, I know I get ridiculed sometimes for what I say, and I'm very. I saw a super chat in there saying about you don't need the real me because you can just repeat what I said. Find a part where I'm wrong. Find a part where Levy hasn't done what I've said. Find a part where you can say, do you know what? Because I will be the first person to stand up, as you know, and say, do you know what? I've got that wrong. Like you and me when we had our debates over the sun with Harry Kane. Like when you and me completely had to say sorry for what we said about Højbjerg yesterday. I will admit when I'm wrong. But I'm just getting fed up of just hearing people saying, oh, we've
you're not right and you're not wrong. There's no right or wrong here because nothing's happened. It's 7 days in. It's too early to talk about this.
We will see. I'm just now saying, here we go. I'll do the rest. That's all I'm saying. It's like, we'll see what people think.
Conte has said it himself, it's a big, big job on his hands. 1 or 2 signings is not going to catapult us into the Champions League. We need a rebuild. We need a new right back. We need new centre backs. We need new strikers. We need a creative midfielder. We need a right winger. We need a lot of people to come through the door. We need a lot of people to go out the door. This is a long-term project. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen within 7 days of the transfer window. We're not, you know what I mean? We have to have a bit of patience now. We've got the best manager in the world. We've got the best sporting director in the world. Yes, we've still got Daniel Levy at the club, but he has brought in these people. And I'm not saying I'm Levy in. I'm still Levy out. Don't get me wrong. But we need patience. I need patience.
Like I said, people are right to say be patient, and they have their right to say be patient. And I don't take that away from anyone whatsoever. I just go on the rule of thumb that I've heard this over. I won't even go 20 years. I'll go literally. Let's go from Harry Redknapp. From Harry Redknapp onwards, I've heard this nonsense. And like I said, I am, when it comes to the levels of Levy, I'm extreme. I'm an extremist. I am so far gone that there is no coming back for me. And you'll never get me to change what I said. And it's like, I have heard this, and I won't. The proof is in the pudding. And once again, nothing's happening. And whilst...
But it's not. How do you know nothing's happening? It's 7 days in.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, look at other teams that are now starting to flex their muscles. Other teams that need to get shopping done are getting their targets in.
Everyone needs shopping done. Man United haven't done anything. Arsenal haven't done anything. All these teams that we're fighting against for the supposed top 4 haven't done anything yet. So why do we need to panic?
Because of the state of our club.
The state of their club is.
I don't care.
Well.
But I don't care about their club.
But it's 7 days in.
And I'll tell you what. 7
days in.
When you mention Manchester United, start this Super League. Fans protest how they do. They bitch and moan about the Glazers. But I tell you what, let's have a Sancho, let's have a Ronaldo, let's have a Varane. Arsenal, bitch and moan about the Super League. Get annoyed. Let's have a complete rebuild of our squad in the summer and be the highest spending team in Europe. Whether they have overpaid, and we were laughing at Ramsdale. Look at Ramsdale. They got their stuff done, and now they're playing good football. So when it comes to these teams, they've addressed the issue. Whenever the issue, when the protest for Super League and things need to be done, they have addressed issues. The Glazers are the prime ones. Okay, you bitch, you moan, but what we're going to give you, because you can't say that we don't invest in the team, and wisely, we'll give you the greatest player in the world, a superb centre-back, and Sancho, who was obviously medical.
How's that help them?
I'm not saying it doesn't necessarily, but what I'm saying is they address an issue. If you look at it, those players that came in should be catapulting Manchester United to where they were. Obviously, Ollie wasn't the right man. Now they've got Ragniak and they don't know who it is. But they addressed the issue. We just sit here again and again and again to have the same nonsense.
Yep, and it has been like that. But because Conte and Paratici are in, it's different. It's different. We have to be patient through the Conte era. If the way it goes, it goes. Like if the way it goes every other time with all the other managers, with the Pochettinos, with the Mourinhos, with the Harry Redknapps, like you say, like it's gone every other time with the Martignols. If it goes like that, then fine. We go nuclear. We go nuclear on Levy. We absolutely try and hound him out the club. That is completely fair enough. But because we've brought these guys in, we have to have the patience. We just have to. But also, we've got one of the best managers in the world right now.
But what you got to look at is, as like I said, the Levy out people that I stand proud with, very, very proudly with. We've said we're not going to do anything. That may change near the end of the transfer window. I'll let you know now, especially with me. If we're like this come January, though, right near the close, and especially deadline day. But then you look at it, and it's going to be too late. If we do nothing, like we've said we'll do, because people are like, oh, what are you protesting about? What you haven't given him time? If we start doing this in February, there is absolutely nothing that could be done with it. Nothing. It's another 4 months till the season ends, or three, whatever you want to call it, where we can't do nothing. We have to put up with the performances like Chelsea or like United or like whatever, because they will come.
I guarantee you, signing a Coutinho or these players that are going, or a 31-year-old Kieran Trippier is not going to make us win at Stamford Bridge.
But Coutinho would at least give creativity. We're saying that Son and Kane are being starved of stuff, and Son's not looking good. He needs a rest, but Kane's not getting the chances. One thing I will guarantee you Coutinho would do is at least create chances. Whether they get taken is down to obviously the strikers, but I guarantee you, we sat there for Chelsea and bemoaned the lack of creativity and the lack of that killer pass and the lack of that set piece. Coutinho does all that.
So why does nobody want Coutinho? Why is he going to Aston Villa?
Because of that link with Steven Gerrard. But
Why did no one better want him?
But Ben, you see, you can't say that and then say, like David Harris said with Adama Traore, no one wants him.
Yeah. So why is that a valid point, but the one with Coutinho is not a valid point?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what we're both saying. If people are saying, yeah, get Adama in, no one else wants him. I agree.
Yeah,
Listen,
but Conte wants him. Conte wants him.
Conte
and Paratici want him. Conte didn't want Coutinho, because if Conte wanted Coutinho, we'd probably have him right now.
Well, that is always to be open for debate. But with Adama,
we always say trust in Conte. If Conte wants him, we want him.
Let me get this straight. I back Conte 1 billion%. 1 billion%. I don't want Adama. Like I said, if he wants him, I want him. But I back him 1 billion%. Above him, minus a billion%.
Yeah,
and
I agree. I completely.
Do you know what? I want to put this to poll to see whose side people.
You want me to put a poll out?
Yeah.
Okay.
To see, I hope I don't get absolutely battered.
What's the question? I'm just
in this agreement. Whose side are you on, Brian or Ben's?
Okay, I did Brian, Ben, and undecided.
Let's have a look how this goes. There's 632 in the.
But it's ridiculous though, because we have to. I keep saying it. I keep stressing it. Us as a fan base, we have to have patience with what's going on right now. Because after years of neglect from Daniel Levy, he's finally done a decision which we can all get behind, right? In doing Antonio Conte, even the staunchest of Levy outs can accept that.
Yep,
correct, right? He rejected us in the summer because of our ambitions, and then he joined us a few months later. Why? Why did he join us?
Probably because of assurances he was given.
Okay. So why can't we just wait for these assurances to come through? And if they don't come through, then we can start bitching and moaning and complaining.
Yeah, but like I said, then it's too late.
It's too late? What do you mean it's too late? Do you really think anything's going to happen from us going mad now?
Who knows? Who knows? Look what happened when we started Levy out in the stadium. Look what happened. Not saying that was the underlying factor that happened. I'm telling you now, it certainly had an impact. It certainly had a goddamn. I'm not saying, because of us that this happened, we have Conte. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is it certainly had a goddamn impact.
It did have an impact, you're right. But the point is that 7 days into a transfer window, it's not the time to be moaning, complaining and protesting and all this stuff. We need to see. This is literally the first 7 days of Conte's first transfer window. He said that in the beginning of December, he needed an extra month to look at the squad and seeing what he needs and what he needs to get in and what he needs to get out. Like, it's all too soon. Stuff is not going to happen in the first 7 days. You need to give it time.
But things could happen in the first 7 days. It should have happened in the first 7 days.
What things could have happened in the first 7 days?
Transfers.
What transfers?
Well, like you said, we don't have all the inside information. Yeah. But you're not telling me that Conte hasn't got a list of players that he wants. I'm not saying just because he's on the list we get them. No approach, no nothing, and we know for a fact. The only transfer that happened last summer with Danny Ings to Aston Villa, absolutely no one, and I mean no one, knew that was happening. No one knew it was happening.
Which one, sorry?
Danny Ings to Villa. That just popped like that. But any other transfer, you know how quick this goes round. And I don't think we've had a transfer like that in God knows how long. Probably Rafa van der Vaart, where that just came out of thin air.
What about Højbjerg?
Højbjerg was known. Højbjerg was known from...
Come on, Højbjerg.
Højbjerg had been known for months that we
Højbjerg, it wasn't like that. We were linked with him for months, but there was nothing concrete, and then it came out of nowhere that we're signing him tomorrow.
Gareth Bale and Doherty. Actually, I'll go back on what I said, because under Mourinho, Doherty came out of absolutely thin air.
We were looking back at that stream, right? When you first came on and Højbjerg signed in that transfer window stream.
Yep.
And me and Simeon were both saying in that stream, like, wow, it's unbelievable that finally we get these deals done in like 1 or 2 days and it's getting so quick. I mean, whatever you want to say about previous transfer window, in my opinion, it's irrelevant right now. We need to concentrate on the now and the future. If this doesn't happen under Conte and Conte walks, or the transfers don't get done, then that is when Levy has nowhere to go. Levy will have nowhere to go then, absolutely 100%. But right now, we need to trust in what they're doing. We just have to.
Like I said, I trust him. I trust him, and I trust he knows who he wants, and I trust him with the squad we've got and everything that goes along with Conte. I 1 billion% stand by him. Like I said, it's just when it has to go anywhere further north of him that the confidence levels and the trust are the exact opposite.
Look, I get your point. Because we have been stung a lot of times. I mean, year on for the past 20 years, more or less. That's completely true. I've been very vocal since the Super League on my thoughts on Levy and ENIC and stuff like that. But I just don't think it's the right time for it right now. I genuinely feel so strongly about it. It is not the right time for it right now. We need to have positivity around the club right now. We can't have negativity. Negativity is only going to make us go on a downward spiral. Positivity around this club is the thing that we need. We see what happens when we're in the stadium and the fans are in full voice against Liverpool, how well we played. We can see all the positivity around the club. If it gets negative inside that stadium against Chelsea, against Arsenal, you know which way it's going to go. It's going to go in a defeat. We need to galvanise around the club. We need to believe that this is going to happen under Conte. We need to genuinely believe it, that it's going to happen under Conte. Otherwise, I don't know which way this club is going to go. And look, at the end of the day, yes, it might not happen under Conte, and Levy might be up to his old dirty tricks. And if that happens, then we go full on nuclear. But 7 days into the transfer window is not the time to do it.
So, like I said, and I need to get this point clear. Levy out, but guys, aren't planning to do anything right now. I am just voicing my concerns, my frustrations, my anger at a place where everyone knows where it goes, and just because, why should we, like I said, the point I'm getting at is why should we be, it's only the first week. Spurs should be doing stuff in the first week. Just because it's a 4-week window doesn't mean I'll wait to the 4 weeks and let's try and do a Levy end of transfer deadline day special where he just tries everything and then we end up with hardly anything. There are no imminent plans right now for any kind of mass protest or anything. But this is just me getting my anger, frustration, and just my point of view that this is just unacceptable once again from
What's unacceptable once again?
just the way we're operating.
How are we operating? Nothing's happened.
Exactly.
But it's 7 days.
But that's what I'm saying. Why should it be as Spurs fans that we say, do you know what, let's wait till day 14 and then let's see what happens. If we want big club mentality and we want remember,
do you mean big club like Aston Villa and Newcastle.
Remember, they're trying to improve their squads to get them to the next level. We're stagnating. We are, like I said, we may not get Champions League. I don't think we will. I certainly don't want the Conference League again, but we want Europa League and we want a substantial run in the FA Cup, because it looks like obviously the Carabao Cup is up in the air. We're not going to do it without reinforcements. But why should we have to wait for reinforcements?
Because we need to get the right people in.
So make it happen. If we've got player A who's there and the club have said, okay, he's available, and this is all behind the scenes and this is just hearsay, this player's available at that amount and you can have him or you can talk to him and go from there, then if it's going to improve the club and it's a Conte target, go do it. Go do it and get him in so he might be available for a Chelsea second leg, an Arsenal, a Chelsea in the league. Because I'd rather a bit of strength and a bit of new blood in the squad for these games rather than having to wait till the end of January. Then they've got to get match fit. Then they've got to sync with when they can do it now.
Well, they're still going to need to get match fit and all that kind of stuff.
Match fit may be a difference. Syncing with the squad.
So if we sign them now, they can't play in the Chelsea semi-final if they need to get match fit.
Well, but take away match fit.
They can't play in the Arsenal game.
Take away match fit. Take away match fit. If they're playing regularly for their clubs right now and have been training, they're fit. Integrated into the squad, whether they don't speak English or whatever, but look at Romero. New blood can certainly rejuvenate this squad. And we're talking about a Son who is exhausted and needs a rest. Can't do it because there's no player. We're looking at Kane, who needs a rest. Can't do it. There's no player. We're looking at Højbjerg, needs a rest. Can't do it. No player. Dyer goes out and we saw what happened. And I'm not saying we're getting all these players, but surely there is somewhere, somehow, some new blood can come into this squad and assist Conte get to where he wants. So we don't have to see a pissed off Conte in these press conferences saying, oh, these players have not done well, that this is not a good performance. I don't want to hear this anymore.
We're not going to solve our problems in January. You know that. It's just not going to happen.
Well, this is
we're not going to solve our problems in January. Nobody ever solves their problems in January.
But why can't there be a first?
There can be a first, but this is not going to be it because it's very hard to find top-level players to leave their club mid-season.
We'll see.
What top player is going to leave their club mid-season unless they're really unhappy at their club? Coutinho wasn't getting any minutes. Trippier wanted to come back to England.
But this is the thing. Like we say, the Conte pool, okay? Yes, we can't promise you, guarantee what level of European football will be. Let's face it, Tottenham will get European football this year. Whether it's Champions League, I doubt. Europa League is what we're hoping for. And at worst, going back into this Conference League. Tottenham, if we don't get European football, it's a disgrace of a season. Let's be real, even if it was the Conference League. But if you're going to entice a player, and we talk about the Conte factor, you talk about the new stadium factor, training ground, yada, 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 there's no way we can't entice players. As Tottenham goddamn Hotspur, and I speak of that as a die-hard Tottenham Hotspur fan, and I think everyone, whether you're my age 42, older or younger, know what this club stands for and what this club means in world football and is in history. We are a big fish. We may not be in the big boy pool right now in the Champions League, but we are a huge fish in the world of football, and we need to start acting like it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Completely agree with that. And look, like I said, I've been very vocal about Daniel Levy over the past year, since the Super League, or even longer than that maybe. But I just don't think it's the time for all this now. I think we have to be patient. There's nothing I want more. There's nothing I want more than Levy to dip into the pockets and sign Vlahovic, sign this one, sign that one. But we need to temper our expectations. We need to be realistic. We need to be realistic. And don't start going on about Vlahovic signing for Arsenal.
I'm not mentioning that.
That ain't happening.
I'm not mentioning that. But
that.
The one thing I will say about that, if that happens, which it ain't, but if it does, I will be apoplectic
and I'll join you
and go into levels beyond you've ever even imagined.
And I'll join you, and I'll completely join you. But I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to be going mad at Tottenham for not signing players just because Aston Villa signed Coutinho and Newcastle signed Kieran Trippier.
How's the poll doing anyway?
You're losing.
By how much?
You're on 31%, I'm on 51%, and undecided on 19%.
Okay, so I'm going to take the undecided as part of mine just to make it a bit more juicier.
I don't think it is, though.
Listen, like I said,
undecided is those fence sitters.
I need to get across. Like I said, this is my opinion that I'm standing by or voicing, not anyone else's. And it comes from a place where I'm just sick and tired of this. I'm just sick and tired. That's all there is. Obviously, we got more time, and like I said, I completely back Conte. But like I said, and I've used it. It's not my first rodeo with this buffoon at the top.
Yeah, and it's all of us. All of us are in the same boat. All of us have seen this show before. But because Conte's here, because he rejected us in the summer, because he came eventually, because Paratici's here as well, we have to believe something's going to happen. We have to believe something's going to happen, and we have to wait. We have to at least give them the chance. 7 days is not a chance. We have to give them the chance to prove us wrong.
We shall see.
To prove you wrong.
Mate, do you know what? February the 1st, if I'm still here, which it may well be, I'll come on.
Yeah, but let's say February the 1st comes. What is the minimum amount of signings through the door to make you not think like that?
To maybe not think like that?
To think like, oh, okay, maybe we are going in the right direction here.
Well, definitely 1 or 2 pre-contracts done. One will be acceptable, but if it's a player of a calibre or a level that we can all see will benefit the squad, not like some random nobody and one big player in. When I say big, I don't mean big as in let's go smash a Vlahovic. It could be someone on like a Kessie we pay the money for, 8.5 in advance. Someone that you can see will immediately come in and add something to the squad.
So you're saying one signing and a couple of pre-contracts?
Yeah.
It's only 7 days in, and that's all you're asking for.
Well, mate, what I'd really want is obviously, but
that's going to come in the summer. That's going to come in the summer.
Again, that we shall see. But don't get me wrong, I am completely with you thinking that the summer is the big one. No doubt, the summer is the biggest window we will probably have since windows have begun.
Yeah.
And with the manager we have in place. And you've got to remember as well, I don't know how this window's really going to work if the World Cup, I don't know how that works. So we have to accommodate for that. So we will see. But that is, I guarantee, obviously, and I'm completely with you, is the biggest window. But there's got to be something done in this window.
See, it's funny because what you're saying this morning and what I'm saying this morning is completely different, right? I'm kind of saying give us patience. Yes, blah blah blah. We need signings, but give us patience. 7 days in, you're going a bit in on the club and all that kind of stuff. But when you say what you want, it's actually less than what I want. I want more than what you want.
Well, no, because
I want 2 signings minimum.
Yeah,
at least.
But I'm saying this with my what is the club potentially and what can I see?
No,
the
I'm
club
saying
do?
what
Okay, if you know, I'm saying I'm talking
No, I get what you're
realistically.
saying.
What do I think we'll bring in? Not what I want. I'm saying what I think we'll realistically bring in. I just want to respond to a couple of comments that will have said. I think that transfers are like buying apples or like FIFA. I don't at all. I understand exactly what goes through with transfers. I've got no qualms of how complicated they can be, but we're a multi-billion-pound sports club that deal with transfers all the time, and we need players. We need players.
We deal with them from time to time. I don't know about all the time.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's get from a few super chats. Vasif Mamedov says Tottenham is the team that have shown the most ambition lately when signing Conte and Paratici. Levy wouldn't do that unless he would back them. Look, we've had big managers come through the door in the past that haven't been backed. Pochettino earned the right to be backed, that he wasn't backed. And the only time he was backed was the summer before he got sacked. That's the only time he was backed. Mourinho, look, Mourinho needed more backing than he got. But we actually were, that last summer of Pochettino, we actually spent the most, didn't we, in the Premier League. Under Mourinho, it was nothing short of a disgrace, that transfer window, to be honest, in hindsight. But at the time, we all thought it was brilliant.
At the time, exactly. We got in Højbjerg, which solved that defensive midfielder. We bought in Reguilon, which sorted out the left back. At the time, we thought Doherty was a good deal because of the stats he had. Gareth Bale, we all rejoiced in the romance in that. But the one that we really, really needed and the one that got away was Skriniar. Skriniar. And obviously we couldn't do that, so we paid 14 million for Rodon, and we all know how that's worked out.
Look, there's no two ways about it. He's a parasite. There's no two ways about it. I'm not gonna.
I know you don't, Ben. As you know, you and me talk.
Everyone needs to make it clear, right, where the problems lie at this club, and we all know where they lie. But seeing as he has pushed a boat out to bring a Conte and a Paratici in, I think that's the only reason why we need to have the patience here.
Like I said, and I stand by, Ben, the work you have done since the Super League in regards to ENIC out, the extent of your conviction and everything you've done has been absolutely so incredible. And the whole of this channel, with most importantly allowing me when I've come on, and I know how bad, I mean, I've been on the channel from get-go speaking like this, and it's just kind of elevated more and more the worse it's got. You are the only fan channel, apart from us smaller channels, that let the fans come on and have their real say, whether it be not what everyone wants to hear, whether it's against your ideas, whether it's against what you think. So the work you do, and I stand by what you, and always you've been leaving out since that moment. So again, you and me basically sing from the same hymn sheet in everything, except when it comes to this part where my extremist part of me comes out. That's all it is.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Another super chat from Goguma says, big up Brian and Ben with a lot of blue hearts. Love that. We've got quite a few to get through, so let me just try and sift through them. Jonathan Dunn says, bad point, Brian. Compares us to a club we finished above for 4 straight years and the richest team in football. Ben is right.
Okay. Like I said, everyone is entitled to their opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm right. I just, everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Correct. Tom Hillier says, hope you're well, lads. I think it's Jan window, not the summer. We've already brought flops, so no rush. I don't blame them. Get Conte's players, end of. And I think that's spot on, to be honest. I think that's absolutely spot on. Brains McLeod, here we go. And he says, I think when we are 10th and S and K are injured, Son and Kane are injured, a lot more would agree with Brian. Not a rebuild needed, just depth for rotation. 3 players can equal top 4. Vasif Mamadov again says January window is not as good window as the summer. Harder to do smart business in January. We need patience because we don't have infinite money to spend. Sean Hibbert says, lads, we know what will happen. We'll give it time. Best thing that could happen, Delhi to Newcastle on deadline day with Kessie coming in. And I think that is, oh, here we go. Another one here. Will Maddow saying, why are we keep blaming Levy when they took a big hit to appoint Conte for us? This guy is just being a contrarian for the sake of it.
I think that's aimed at me, but yeah, if you haven't seen me on any channel, I have been like this since the day. The reason I'm so extreme, I've been like this since the day Martin Jol was sacked. The day Martin Jol was sacked. So everyone else has their moment where the straw that broke the camel's back, where this was enough, this was enough, this was enough, and everyone, like I said again, is totally entitled to their opinion, whether it's Levy in, Levy out. But like I said, I have been going on like this since Conte out. Conte out? What am I saying? Since Martin Jol was sacked. And obviously, it goes a lot deeper with me because I've seen all the things that have built up over that was 2007. So 14 coming on 15 years, like at the end of this year. So where I am on it, it's I look at it as with all these mistakes, there's one common denominator. Every single time.
You're spot on,
and that's why I am so far gone with how I am with this particular subject, because it's been 14 years of lies, hurt, deceit, and that's where I stand.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right there. Danny Kiriakou with the super chat saying Ali Gold last night said Conte still had not had that meeting with Paratici, Levy and Hitchin. Should that meeting have happened before the window opened? Yes, it should have happened before the window opened, but Conte clearly stated at the beginning of December he needed an extra month, and he asked for an extra month to evaluate the squad. That's what he said from the horse's mouth. So I don't understand what all this is about.
The part that I'm agreeing with Mr. Danny Kiriakou is, like I said yesterday, he asked for an extra month to evaluate, yeah, but he still would have said, right, these are the people that I want, that are in my train of thought right now, and this is who I might want, but give me the month because I want to give these players a chance. And then let's just say Harry Winks. Let's just say there was a replacement for Winks. Harry Winks has earned his under Conte, he's earned his second or his get out of jail free card. So you go, right, the Conte, the Winks target that I wanted, let's put that on the back burner and revisit at summer. You take him off the list. And so forth and so forth with this month that he evaluated. He would have had a group of players that he would have wanted. And then as he's realised the ones that he doesn't want or doesn't need because he reckons that the player he has could do a job, you cross them off. I would hope that's like some kind of, not exactly that, like he's got a notepad, but it'll be on a document or whatever. And then at least he knows the viable targets, right? He's crossed out this one, he's crossed out that one. These people are on his radar. These are people he obviously has some interest in and wants to pursue. Let's go and do that.
Yeah, but that's a pure assumption. That's no cold hard facts there. We don't know that's the case.
You surely, I mean, and I'm not just talking of football, business owners worldwide, when they have projections or they have things they want to achieve, they have a plan. So when the opportunity comes.
Conte came in, when was it? Late October? He came
I was still here. So his first game was November the 4th.
So he came in early November. You can't expect him to evaluate the whole squad within a month's time, seeing who he wants in, who he wants out, scout players from around Europe, evaluate the whole squad on top of that and know exactly who he wants out in the space of 4 weeks.
No, like I said to you, he would have had a list.
I don't think so. I think he needs to evaluate the squad and then know what positions he needs and then start accumulating that list. Even what I'm saying is an assumption, right?
Yep.
But we can't assume right now when he asked for an extra month to evaluate the squad. We can't start saying on the 7th of January, which is 7 days after he's supposedly finished evaluating the squad. We don't even know if he has finished evaluating the squad. We don't know what all these situations are. We can't just start assuming and then digging into Levy because of these assumptions. They're all assumptions.
That again, I say again, yes, it is an assumption from me, but I would hope that's kind of the platform or method. I mean, Conte is an established world-class manager. We apparently have a world-class businessman.
Yeah.
So you'd think that both of them would be a match made in heaven, so they could both do the work, and the proof will be in the pudding.
The proof will be in the pudding, but the pudding has not been put in the oven to cook yet.
I think it's been put in the oven. It's just how long, if it's going to be undercooked or overcooked, or...
We shall see. We shall see how it comes out, the pudding.
It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
But what I'm saying is we can't start protesting and start going in.
I have to start.
I know what you're saying. There is no protest. There is no protest right now. But we were hearing that maybe it might happen before the end of the transfer window, and we can't start digging in. Let's say, forget the protest. Protest aside, forget the protest right now. We can't start digging into the board and start bringing all this negativity around the club again until the pudding comes out and we see how cooked it is.
I love it. I don't know how we came up with this, and we've ended up with.
Though.
But there we go. So yeah, we'll see.
And Shem Tan with the super chat saying, as usual, everyone buys, loans players, and we consider might get this player regardless of coach with Levy in control. We do nothing. # Levy out. Look, at the end of the day, it's 7 days in. Just be a bit patient.
You can see where they're coming from.
I can see where they're coming from, of course, because it plays into the narrative of every other transfer window, especially every other January transfer window. You sent me that thing last night of all our January transfer windows. I'll get it up now, actually. Just 1 second. Where's Brian Day?
So I'm just voting for myself on YouTube.
You're taking the We Are Tottenham vote, are you?
No, I'm honest, me.
So January transfer windows, 12-13, we signed Friars and Holtby. 13-14, no signings. 14-15, Dele Alli. 15-16, no signings. 16-17, no signing. 17-18, Lucas Moura. 18-19, no signing. 19-20, Bergwijn and Jedson. And 20-21, no signings. So, I mean, January is never really a good month. But that's for Tottenham, I'm saying. But can you name a good January transfer window for any club? I mean, I think Tevez and Mascherano were one in for West Ham.
Suarez to Liverpool.
Was that January?
Yep.
Tevez and Mascherano. Was it January? I can't remember.
I think we played them in the February, so I think that it was his first. So I'm willing to say yes, that was. But then Suarez to Liverpool.
Was that January?
Yep, because Torres went to Chelsea. Now, don't get me wrong, that didn't work out well, but that potentially could have been, and that was a big deal. I think Fernandes came to United in January. So there are players. I'm not saying again. It's not Tottenham, but people are under this illusion. It's and I understand, and I'm with that. January is a very hard window. But if you need the player, and you can get the player, then there are teams that will dip their toes in the pool and say, right, here we go. This is what we need. Now, obviously, Suarez had to come in because Torres went there, but that's what happens. You get a player out in January, and you bring in. All right, they brought Andy Carroll in as well, which wasn't successful, but it was a big move at the time. But they went and recuperated. They went and gave the manager say, right, we're going to sell him, but here you go, have these two.
We were in for Suarez that January.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say.
That was nothing to do with Levy why we didn't get him.
He wanted to go to Liverpool, but if he'd offered the money, we'd actually been linked with Suarez for quite a few years.
That was Harry Redknapp's fault. Harry Redknapp didn't want him. That was Harry Redknapp's fault.
So see, this is okay. So that I get. Okay, that I understand, and I will say, okay, that weren't Levy's fault. But the bit that gets me with Levy, and people forget this, is when the Gareth Bale money came in, the original first time, AVB only wanted 2 of those players. But Baldini and Levy said, here you go, I bring the players in, you coach them, manage them, whatever. We bring them in, you do what you want. So that didn't work out well. Obviously, it was 7 players, and I think Ericsson and obviously Lamella with his longevity is the only ones that really had any major impact at Spurs. But then when Poch didn't get anyone in one window and Levy said, well, I offered him loads of players, and Poch said no, well, why didn't you say no to AVB when AVB wanted different players? You can't say, oh, I brought in 7 players, look at that, but the manager didn't want them, but then say when the manager says no to me there, oh, I'm going to listen this time. You can't have it, even though they're years apart. You can't have it both ways.
It was it Franco Baldini at the time? Those were Franco Baldini signings, weren't they?
Yeah, but they didn't listen to the manager.
They didn't listen.
They wanted Montinho. He wanted a couple of other players, but was told, no, we're the director of football, we're the chairman, we bring in the players, you coach them. But then apparently when Poch came in and said, no, I don't want these players, Levy goes, oh, OK, I won't bring them in.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, but the factor of matter is, at that time, he had Franco Baldini, who was head of recruitment, when Poch had Paul Mitchell there, and we brought like kind of the players that formed the Poch era, you know, the Dele Allis and those kind of players. But the recruitment was terrible after Paul Mitchell left.
Yeah, and why did Paul Mitchell leave?
Because of the parasite. That's why he left. But all of that stuff has got nothing to do with this Jan.
Well, no, like I said, the easiest way for me to wrap this all up, so we can just
move on.
Yeah, is a leopard doesn't change the spots. Don't get, like I said again. I'm going to say it on every time just to get it clear to people. I back Conte 1,000,000,000%, but a leopard doesn't change the spots.
All right. Let's hope the leopards can change their spots. Let's hope he turns into a chameleon.
Oh, can you imagine?
What else we got? Ryan Isaac Kennard says 7 days in and the club are doing business. Do it early.
That's the guy from the pub on Boxing Day.
All right. Big up, Ryan. Let's see what else we got here. We got one from Sean Butler.
Oh, jeez.
Saying, Brian, you know I love you, who you are as a person, which is much more important than our differences. Re Levy. But I do worry whether you would actually prefer us not to sign anybody, so you could say I told you so on the
it's talk like that really pisses me right off, because I want the best for my club. I have said 1,000,000,000 times I would rather stand here up and say well done to that man and well done, we're going in the right direction, rather than go to the extreme we have to. That's the kind of talk that really sets me off, because I would love nothing more to stand up in front of all of you and go, do you know what? He did well there, or I was wrong. There is nothing more I want, because it means my club is successful. I do what I do, and other people do what they do, because we want our Tottenham back. And if this man, which I highly doubt, because a leopard doesn't change his spots, is the man to do it, I will stand down. I will stand down and say, well done, we are now on the right track. But a leopard doesn't change his spots.
Neville Murugan says, Conte's just making noises to keep Levy on his toes. We must wait for the summer and then we can talk. Patience. And I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Yes, if we don't bring anyone in from now until the end of January, I'll be angry. I will be angry. And I will be going in hard on Levy if we don't sign anyone. But things can be saved in the summer transfer window. What I want to be happy is 2 signings, potentially 2 minimum, let's say, 2 minimum signings this January transfer window, and then a whole new rebuild in the summer. That is what I want, and I think that is definitely achievable. That's just what I think.
Well, mate, listen, like Ben, you know, and I've said it a bit. I welcome everyone's opinions. I don't just say, right, you're wrong, I'm right. I'm just, like I said, extremely volatile and extremely passionate when it comes to this. And like I said, I understand everyone's opinion and I appreciate it and I respect it. Like I said, people will know I never ever get personal with them, ever. I never get rude to them. I never ever, even when I get messages on social media, I always respond. I don't expect everyone to be where I am and other people are, but it's where I am. And like I said, I respect everyone's opinion. That has to be said.